camera sucks. I'm going to use it.
You gotta sit down.
You got the volume right. Welcome back, fourth and final segment. We touched a lot of stuff. They talked to a lot of people. We like this, calling us in, keeping us on our toes. I'm the stats guy. I look up a lot of stats, but I do like it when people fire questions at us that we don't know. That's where you get raw radio. That's where you get things that you haven't heard. I made this comment to TJ this morning. I don't know how many times I've heard turnovers and trenches the past 2 weeks. The game's going to be won by who gets the least turnovers, who plays the best on the line. I don't want to hear that anymore. I'm sick of it. And we're getting a little different stuff this morning at least.
Well, depending on Peyton Manning plays, that's how the game's going to go. That's different, but it's the truth.
We got Jeremy here. He's been waiting for us. Jeremy, you can hear us.
What are your thoughts on the poll? Would you rather be watching it at MetLife Stadium or at home on the TV?
I'd rather be at home on the TV. I'm lazy.
Yeah, you're like most of us. What do you got for us this morning? What do you got for us this morning?
Well, we got a couple questions for you about tomorrow's game.
Okay.
First question. Russell Wilson threw for 103 yards and no touchdown against the Saints. Then turned it around against the 49ers for 214 yards and a touchdown. Which Russell Wilson is going to show up for the Super Bowl tomorrow?
That's a good question. That's a good question. And I don't know what happened against the 49ers, I think, is he had to throw the ball. Their front seven is so good. There ain't no Russell Wilson running the ball.
Yeah, here's the thing.
He was looking to run first against the Saints. He had to look to pass first against the 49ers. He wasn't thinking about running. He was thinking about getting rid of that stupid ball before he got killed.
Here's what I think we'll see a Russell Wilson more like 2 rounds ago, but I believe he will have to throw this time as well.
I agree.
But Denver's secondary, even though it's kind of stepped up recently, I don't know where from, they're not real good. So unless they step up again, I believe he can have some success against them.
I agree. I think that Denver's secondary and I think Denver's defense and San Francisco's defense are pretty comparable, whereas their front line is pretty good and their secondary is a little weaker. And so I think Russell Wilson's going to throw for, what did I say he was going to throw for? It's over 200 yards.
Yeah, you got your statistics there.
I think he is going to throw for 228 yards.
Write it down. 228 yards. Exactly. What's your next question for us, Jeremy?
Second question is, the Broncos have players that are experienced in the Super Bowl area, whereas the Seahawks do not. What effect would that have on both of the teams?
Well, I want to touch on this one first. Denver doesn't have a whole lot of experience. While it does have some, but what they do have on their side is Peyton Manning, who I think will do an excellent job of preparing them for the Super Bowl.
And John Fox. John Fox has coached the Super Bowl.
So I believe that the teammates around the young teammates for the Broncos will coach and prepare them better, where really in Seattle, you got Pete Carroll there, who won a couple NCAA national championships. I guess he can give them something from that. But overall, I believe it would be more
of an unsuccessful stint in the NFL. But
I believe it will be more of a distraction for Seattle than it will be Denver.
Now, let me counter that point a little bit. Thinking about what my dad said when he called in, he had a pretty good point that people can get hyped up.
Yeah, Peyton's
been here before. We know what to expect out of him. Some people thrive under pressure. Some people do better under pressure. Is that what's going to that's the thing about being on this stage. It can either melt you or it can build you up. I don't know. I don't know if the little bit of experience that Denver has is gonna make that better. They know what to expect when setting for 30 minutes at halftime. They know those kind of things. But those Seattle players are young. They've had a chip on their shoulder all season. They might come out even more fired up in this situation.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the game? Who do you see winning this one, Jeremy?
I'm hoping for Seattle.
Pulling for Seattle. We know you're a big St. Louis Rams fan. We know they're going to be looking good next year, so you're going to stay in the conference area and pull for Seattle.
That's exactly right.
Speaking of the Rams, what do you think? Are they going to stay in St. Louis, or are they going to end up in L.A.?
I've heard some news that the owner bought 60 acres in Los Angeles. They've been talking about it for 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, but
About moving back.
I mean, he supposedly bought the land for a Walmart. Let's throw that in there too. I mean, he does more than just
Right.
football.
Right.
There's no Walmarts in L.A. either. Did you know that?
No, so he can make a lot of money off doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we appreciate you calling in this morning, Jeremy. You have a good one, buddy.
Yeah, one thing that LA doesn't have is professional football teams and Walmart.
That is unbelievable.
No, they don't have them. We should have asked Danny or our 6th or 7th caller about that. But there are no WalMarts in LA.
Wonder why.
Well, because they're Chamber of Commerce and their mom and pop stores, they have a pretty tight knit community, and they come together and just kind of kept them out. Land doesn't come up for sale very often in LA.
That's true.
This 60 acres that he gave, I knew how much it was. I think it was somewhere. Oh, I knew how much it was yesterday. I'm sorry, I can't remember. It was quite a bit. It was a lot of money.
See if you can't formulate a scientific.
I
Do it.
honestly, yesterday at work, I had somebody asked me, and I looked it up, and we're guessing what the loan would be on that, and you would make like $7,000 in it, $7 million in interest if you did the loan on it. I can't remember the amount. I think it was close to $100 million.
All right, we're gonna shift. We've been talking professional and collegiate. We're gonna shift local real quick. And if you want to talk local sports, call us 502-509-3190. Give us a call. We'll bring you in on it.
If you don't want to dial that number, you don't want to call long distance, Twitter messages or direct messages, your number, we'll call you.
Yeah, whatever you
we'll
want
talk
to
to you.
But since we were on last time, we've had 3 games: Greenwood, Cumberland, Taylor. The boys lost Monday night against Greenwood 75-49, but we're only down 13 at halftime. Just, had a real bad second half there against a Greenwood team that's 8-9. Of course, they play tough competition, day in, day out.
Greenwood came out in the third quarter there. We came out at halftime flat. Not a lack of effort. Couldn't get our shots to fall, and they went on a run there, like a 12-point run, and we ended up losing pretty bad. The clock started running there, 30 seconds left, I think, in the game, and it wasn't the team that I thought would show up. The effort was there. We just couldn't get the shots to fall, as it's been all season. Greenwood was a lot better than I give them credit for. I thought they were slumping. I thought we could come in there, take advantage of that slump, maybe get overlooked and hammer them. Didn't happen, and it was one of those things.
The girls played a really tough game Monday night. They lost 52-46 against a pretty good Greenwood team. That's 11-9.
Really good Greenwood girls team.
They kept it close the entire game. Had a shot, a couple possessions there at the end. Then moving forward, just the night after that, playing at Cumberland Tuesday night. The boys, again, big loss, 83-58. But once again, only down 6 at halftime. Just another story of a bad second half against Cumberland.
That's something David talked to us about last week, where they get a quarter where, for whatever reason, they miss a couple shots and they get down and they can't get 4 quarters together. I'm telling you, they are going to get 4 quarters together before this season's over, and we're going to see some good basketball out of them. The potential is there and the talent is there. We just got to get our shots to fall, get some confidence. I think that's a big thing, is get a little confidence built up in these kids and get them shooting the ball a little bit better. And we've played Cumberland before, and we should have beat them. When we beat them handily at home, it was a frustrating game.
The girls lost as well Tuesday night at Cumberland. They were really up the entire game, up 7 points at the end of the third quarter, and just let it get away there at the end.
Now, Cumberland County is always a ruckus place to go. They got a great fan base. It gets loud and gets a little rowdy in there. There in Clinton County are always tough places to go into and play. And that's what we need at home. I want to implore all fans. You can't come out tonight because we're not going to be there, but I think we're going to play next week 2 games at home. You need to come out and support these boys. You wouldn't believe what a little crowd support and that, if nothing else, it'll boost their confidence. That's what they need. They need to hit a shot, see people on their feet, hear them cheering for them, and you think, well, the crowd doesn't affect it. It does. It will boost their confidence more than anything David's going to tell them, more than anything I'm going to say about them. More than anything that their friends are going to say to them, and they see that crowd get up and cheer for them, that's going to fire them up more than anything. So if you're listening, you haven't been out to a game this year, you think that they've got a losing record, come on out. Just come on out and see if we can fire that building up a little bit. If you're a student at Metcalfe County, come on out and let's support the teams a little bit.
Also want to give a quick shout out. I know she's on the opposing team, but Allie Davidson for Cumberland County, I believe she's a senior now, scored her 1,000 points in that game, which that's a good feat for any player.
Any player that gets 1,000 points, that's a big deal. Well, we might have somebody listening in Cumberland County. I don't know.
Hey,
but
you never know.
If you do and you got something you want to tell us about it, or if anybody knows Allie, get her on the phone, have her call us. We'd like to talk to her.
Then Friday night played Taylor County, a really good boys Taylor County team.
Taylor County
17-4.
is really good. They're going to contend in their region. They're in the 5th region. They're not with us, but they're going to contend.
Undefeated in the region. They're 17-4 on the year, but I believe they're 15-0 in the region.
I think so as well. Well, 17, 15. Yeah, I guess so.
Boys ended up getting beat 83-42, but it would have been a tough game to win. Really good opponent.
Yeah, a lot of games this season I go in thinking we've got a chance, and I never want to think we don't have a chance, but that was going to be hard.
So that makes the boys fall to 2-17. But like I've said, as long as you're preparing for that first round of district with these games, it doesn't matter what your record is.
You can be 0-30.
Right.
If you're improving every week, that's what high school sports is about, getting better every week. It doesn't matter if you're 0-30. Like I said, you go into district, win the first round, you've got a chance to win region. Yeah, and that's all it takes. A good bounce in region, you never know what could happen. And that's what we're rooting for. Let's just show these kids some support.
The girls, they win last night, Friday night, 47-37 over a 500 Taylor team that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
They led the entire game. They kind of did what they did at Cumberland County, except
they didn't fall apart.
They held the lead. So that puts them at 6-13, which we both believe they're a lot better than their record is. A lot better than 6-13.
And the girls, what happens to the girls is they run a kind of a slow, steady offense. They want to run a slow, steady pace all the time, which is okay when you've got a lead. When they fall behind, say they get back behind 6 points, they struggle to pick that pace back up. They want to run that offense. If there's a minute left in the game, they want to run through that offense. They haven't, aside from Jordan Samuels driving the ball in and kicking it out or dishing it off, they want to run those plays in their entirety to get off the best shot. They haven't got that killer mentality yet. Drive the ball, get the shots up quick. So when they get down, they have a hard time getting back.
Yeah, and I believe with both these teams, we've said it, we'll keep saying it, there are two teams that we really feel like could win the first round of district and end up playing in the regional tournament.
I agree. They're
improving, they're getting better. The scores might not show that, but I really do feel like this team is improving in order to play in the first round of district. Staying away from collegiate and professional sports, kind of coming back to hunting, something we try to touch on every week. I'll say it again, we've got an outdoor section specific on our website. If you send us some pictures, send us some stories. I know you can do some legal night hunting.
Started today. Started at midnight, actually, last night. We talked about this 2 weeks ago. How we passed a law allowing us to hunt coyotes at night. You can hunt them at night any time year round, but you can spotlight them starting tonight, I think through the end of May or the 1st of June. And this is the first time you've been allowed to shine a spotlight on any animal at night legally in the state of Kentucky. So, pretty exciting stuff going on. You can hunt coyotes now with a spotlight. I know there's some of my friends I know went out and hunted them last night.
Yeah,
so give us a call or send us your picture or send us a message. Let us know how it went.
We'll get it up. Send us a picture and a little story about it. We'll put it up on the website. Everybody be able to go there and see it throughout the week. Now, moving kind of like we always do from hunting to the kitchen, my favorite part of the show, 2 minutes with Paula Dan.
Gonna throw on a big slab of beef.
What do you have for us this week, Dan?
Well, we've been, like I said, we're doing Super Bowl themed things all week. I gave you my little Smokies recipe last week. This week we're going to talk about, I know what your favorite Super Bowl snack is, and that's a sausage and
That's
cheese
right.
dip.
That's my favorite snack any time of the year, not just Super Bowl
And
Sunday.
it's incredibly simple. All you really need is a block of Velveeta cheese. I really don't know what the weight is, but a big block of Velveeta cheese. You can get regular or Mexican or spicy, depending on what you want. Get that block and stick it in your crock pot and let it melt. Get you a pound of sausage, brown that in a skillet, throw that in there with it. Then you can get a can of diced tomatoes and a can of Rotel or 2 cans of Rotel. Ever how spicy you want it to be, extra spicy, mild, and dump that in there. TJ also likes to put a little broccoli in his. I'm okay. Either
that
way
makes
is
it
fine.
good.
You need to cook the broccoli
Yeah.
and then put it in there. Cook broccoli, it's sort of like a broccoli and cheese type deal. All you gotta do is let that melt, and you're good to go. A little tip is you might want to put a bag or a liner inside your crock pot, or you'll never get that crap out.
Yeah.
So melt it, eat it on. You can eat it on flatbread. You can eat it on pita chips. You can eat it on Tostitos.
They even got some like artisan Tostitos
Yeah.
now. I've got some of those for tomorrow.
So,
I'll be snacking.
Pretty good stuff. Pretty simple to make. Any man, woman, child can do it. That's what I got.
Also, if I could just add to Paula Dan for a second here, I know we had a potluck at a church about a month ago, and some people make hamburger dip, same thing as sausage dip, except you
With hamburgers.
use hamburger meat.
Yeah, my mom actually takes these. I don't exactly know what they are, but they're some kind of little edible cups. They look like paper, but they taste like a cracker. Fills it with that dip, and then cooks it in the oven for a few minutes. Gets it brown and crunchy, and then you eat it, and you got a little pre-dipped chip.
Can I make a request for next week's Paula Dan?
Well, maybe.
Do you remember at Christmas those things that your grandma made that were in the little
That's
cup?
what I'm talking about.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying. It's the same ingredients in a little different. I'll give it to you next week. I don't know how to cook it yet. But
it is delicious.
I'll find it out.
If Granny Sue is listening out there, she knows how to do it. I would have ate 50 of those things that night if they were there. Might have been sick the next day, but it would have been well worth it. Just to update our poll results real fast, you can still vote there on the tdshow.com. Would you rather watch the Super Bowl at MetLife Stadium or on TV? Looks like we got about 80% wanting to watch it on the TV, and just 20% wanting to watch it on at
I voted
MetLife
for the
Stadium.
stadium, so I'm one of the stadium votes there.
You voted for the stadium? Well,
I told you I wanted to see the Broncos win. I mean, this is assuming that they cost the same. 'Cause
yeah.
I don't have $4,000 for a cheap seat, but yeah, I'd like to see them win Super Bowl in person.
Yeah, and just to go, we got a few extra minutes here. If we ain't got no callers, just if anybody wants to get in real quick, 502-509-3190. We still got a few minutes we can take callers. But just want to go over the website with you. I know it's kind of new to everybody. If you go to the homepage there, you can watch us live at the top anytime we're going live. Right under that, there's a listen live button, which will play the most recent clip. So if we're live, it'll be playing that clip. It's playing it right now. And if you want to go listen throughout the week, you can listen there. We try to put a couple up on the homepage. Right now, we got Mary Lou Feast's interview. We got Coach Clemens' interview. And then we kind of got our Richard Sherman discussion from last week also. And if you miss us and you want to check out the podcast without having to go to Spreaker or YouTube, you can simply go to our website and go to the podcast page. And the past 2 weeks will always be there. You can catch up there. Also, we have a TD Nation button you can click on. It has a discussion board where we got a little NFL tab. We got local sports. You can start a discussion with us or whoever about anything you want to. We also have an articles page, which we're eventually going to start writing some articles for y'all to read throughout the week if y'all want to do that. We're going to put up Daniel's statistics. I know they were hard to comprehend maybe live there.
But I think if you read them and you look at them, you might be able to understand what I'm saying and how I came to my 27-29 Denver win.
Yeah, you might be able to, but you probably won't. But you can try. That's one thing you can do. You can get on there and try. Also have a contact page where you can get our contacts, all our Facebook, Twitter, email, everything like that if you want to contact us or if you want to advertise with us. And there's also Meet the Host page where you can get a little insight on our life. There's a picture of Daniel and his child and me and my wife and soon to be here child. I think Daniel wants to touch on the Olympics if he can for just real quick.
We got a couple minutes left. The
Yeah.
Winter Olympics going to start this week. The one thing I two things I always root for in my life: make FK Sports, the United States, and anything. So we know they're going to start this week on NBC. Got a couple hockey games. What do you want to watch? What if you could watch one Winter Olympic event? What would you watch?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, it'd have to be hockey. That's really the only thing I would know how to watch and be able to comprehend, I think.
Yeah, I like hockey a lot too. I like curling. That's pretty cool. It's kind of like shuffleboard on ice. The thing I love.
I know there's a lot of people that like that. A lot of people that follow that.
Yeah, but the thing that I think is the most exciting to watch is the snowboarding half pipe. They do some awesome stuff in those half
Now,
pipes.
is a half pipe where it's like this, or is that a half pipe?
I guess it's a full pipe. It's a snowboarding full pipe.
Yeah, well, I'm not real good on
No,
this
it's
stuff.
a half pipe. That's a quarter pipe. A half pipe is the
Like
it's round
a full
on both.
pipe would be a 360.
It's
circle.
round on both sides, kind of
Yeah.
like the shape I'm making with my
Yeah.
hand. But yeah, I think that's pretty cool to watch.
Of course, people on the radio can't hear.
Yeah.
See.
Imagine if you took a pipe and cut it in half. You know
It's
what
half
it
a
is.
circle, really.
Yeah, but that's pretty cool. They do new trick every single year. They do a trick that's never been seen before. And they go high. That's dangerous. And another thing that they're going to add this year is the slope style, which is kind of like freestyle skateboarding. You know, they do the street courses and things like that. Except this is just going down a mountain. They've got random jumps set up, random obstacles, things to slide on. That's going to be cool to watch. I don't know a lot about it. I know it's got to be very hard, but it's fun. It's incredibly fun to watch. I think there's a lot more fun stuff to watch in the Olympics in winter than there are during the summer. I mean, a lot more competition going on during the summer. I like the basketball. I like the other things, but there's just so much excitement in these Winter Olympics, and it's at night. It's at prime time. It's awesome.
Does Tony Hawk still skateboard?
I have no idea. They don't have that in the Olympics, but they do have the X Games, and he's getting pretty old.
If you have snowboarding in the Olympics, why couldn't you have skating?
Well, I think they were limited on the number of Winter Olympic events that they had, and so they threw in some X Games type stuff. You know, you don't see any of these extreme sports in the Summer Olympics. You know, we don't have rally car racing, which I think would be awesome. But
I'd imagine there's probably some crossover athletes between skating and snowboarding. What do you think?
Shaun White actually competed in the X Games for a few years as a skateboarder. Then he decided he was going to, apply himself to being a snowboarder and wanted to become the best in the world, and he did. He was a great skateboarder. I mean, I act like I'm a big skateboard fan. I'm not. I like to watch it on TV. I've never tried it myself, but it's cool.
I used to ride a skateboard and sit on it and ride it down my road.
I've done that as well.
That's about all I really can do.
Now, yeah.
All right, well, we're up against the end here. We really appreciate the phone calls, y'all driving us this week. Hopefully we'll get the same thing next week. Remember our phone number, 502-509-3190.
Yeah, you can give us a call next week. You can send us your questions all week on Facebook, Twitter, or email us at mail@thetdshow.com. I'm struggling. Or you can get on our Facebook, which is facebook.com/thetdshow, or you can get on our Twitter handle @thetdshow. Since we got a new intro this week, we're pretty proud of it. Thanks, pretty cool. We'll send you out.
Hey, wait, let's just play it right now. I mean, I'm sure everybody's listening right now might not have caught it at the beginning of some shows.
I was going to send you out with the intro. That's what I'm saying.
Dude, you're a genius.
Just cut me off.
You're a genius.
That's why I clicked on it and said we're going to play this.
Hey. All right, let's do this.
All right.
You're listening to the TD Show.
Touchdown Titans! There are no flags on the field! It's a miracle! Tennessee has pulled a miracle!
Broadcast live on the TDShow.com.
There goes Davis! Oh my God! Davis is going to run it all the way back! Auburn's going to win the football game! Auburn's going to win the football game!
2 hours of the best sports talk on the planet. Or at least out of Edmonton, Kentucky.
Stokely down the sideline! Can he catch him? Stokely! Wow! Touchdown! Denver! Unbelievable!
Coming to you live, your hosts, TJ and Dan.
Here goes the...
All right. Thanks for listening, guys. It's been a great show. We appreciate your calls. We'll be back here next week, 9 o'clock.
Y'all be good. See you
Thanks.
next week.
That went well. We kind of ran out of stuff there.
I think it ended really well.
Oh, okay.